Progressive Congress in Rivers State, a former member of the Rivers House of Assembly, the former governor of Rivers State, the party. This afternoon, that has taken place after the and to react to some of the things that have happened after the governorship and House of Assembly elections. And so I'll go straight to read the position of the All Progressive Congress as a party in Rivers State. And a lot of the things that will be read out are mainly responses to the broadcast by the outgoing governor of Rivers State, Barrister Wike. Well, our attention has been drawn to some of the comments made by the outgoing governor of Rivers State, Barrister Wike, on live broadcast. Number one, that the capital G governor, unconscious of his audience, gave away his coarse, pugilistic, and authoritarian disposition as he merely reviewed every strategy he applied and how he arranged robbery of votes in candidates' units. As he easily knows the result of each polling unit, maybe before voting started, or to justify words on the streets that results were allocated to each candidate several days before the day of election proper. The infamous broadcast shows how he planned the operations and the marching order he gave against each prominent politician in Rivers State. Number two, last Saturday election in Rivers State was between the APC and INEC, the police, and Governor Wike's PDP. There was no election in the real sense of it. INEC and the police brazenly worked together to install Wike's PDP candidates as winners of the election. As a party, we have repeatedly raised the alarm about how Governor Wike, using state resources that belong to Rivers people, compromised key institutions like the INEC and the police. What happened on Saturday was a systemic, institutionalized rigging of the elections by Governor Wike with the supposed umpire, INEC, and the police actively doing the bidding of Governor Wike. Governor Wike's weak and feeble attempt to distance himself from the chairman of INEC, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, failed woefully. No amount of spin can change the facts Nigerians know, which is that there exists an unholy alliance between Governor Wike and the INEC chairman. Governor Wike is gloating that his PDP won elections in Rivers State. But everyone knows that PDP did not win the elections in Rivers State. PDP stole the elections with the active connivance and participation of INEC and the police. They were brazenly and shamelessly allocated votes. 3. Then a part of his interview had him shockingly downplay the death of the campaign coordinator of the APC gubernatorial campaign at Ahoda West, and others who were brutally murdered on election day for choosing to exercise their franchise and defending their votes against the marauding PDP rigging machinery which was unleashed across the state in order to foist his lackey, who has not been able to explain to Rivers people how 117 billion naira of taxpayers' money was withdrawn in cash across the counter. 4. We are pained but not surprised at the dismissive response offered by the outgoing governor in a mindless attempt to explain away the killing of a PhD scholar who incidentally and quite significantly should have been defending his doctoral thesis today, Thursday, 23rd of March, 2023. Had his life not been mowed down by bullets of talks organized by the PDP to forcefully impose themselves on the people of the state against their will. The events of 2023 bear resemblance with the yet-to-be investigated killings of APC members in 2015 and during the 2016 rerun elections in Rivers State. 5. For the avoidance of doubts, Nigerians are invited to note that the following members of the APC Rivers State chapter lost their lives in Ahoda West local government area alone on the 18th of March 2023. Number 1, Eso Gospower Ajahu, Ward 10, Unit 1. 2, Chiosom Leonard Tabele, Ward 10, Unit 2, the LGA coordinator. 3, Opara Chenyere, Unit 1, Ward 10. 4, Good News Michael Opara, Anapo Community, Ward 8, Unit 5. And we still have 2 persons missing from that local government. 6. May we remind Nigerians that the event of March 18th and 19th, 2023, which witnessed the suppression of votes, bypass of beavers, intimidation of voters, outright violence, and brutal killings in Rivers State, which clearly violates Section 125 and Section 128 of the 2022 Electoral Act as amended, can never be forgotten or swept under the carpet by a million broadcasts. 7. To further confirm our party's claim of state-sponsored violence and intimidation of opponents, let us draw the attention of the outgoing governor of Rivers State and the public to paragraph 2 of the statement issued just yesterday, 22nd of March 2023, by the United Kingdom on the gubernatorial and House of Assembly elections in Nigeria. Thus, however, open quote, however, there were notable points of concern. Members of our observation mission personally observed violence and voter suppression in numerous voting locations. We witnessed and received credible reports from other observer missions and civil society organizations of vote buying and voter intimidation, the destruction and hijacking of election materials, and the general disruption of the process in numerous states, including Lagos, Enugu, and Rivers. Close quote. Number 8. Therefore, the failed media stunt by the outgoing governor, which was to justify the bloody rigging that took place in the state, falls flat in the face of rock-solid evidences corroborated by international observers. No wonder the streets of Port Harcourt went silent immediately the unfortunate announcement of the PDP candidate was made, unlike what happened in Abia State, where jubilations broke out as soon as the People's Choice emerged. Little wonder the shunning of a victory party organized for youths at the Eleji Amadi Polytechnic, and the few who came refused to dance or rejoice, even when organizers begged them to justify their pay. 9. The APC in Rivers State wished to state that the two elections held on the 25th of February and 18th of March 2023 signposts our beloved Rivers State as the poster boy of electoral evil, for which even foreign governments have warned about a likely slide to God knows where. 10. We restate that what has happened in the state in the last two elections amounts to Pyrrhic victories obtained through Executive Order 23, which is an unwritten marching order to local government council chairmen to return Governor Wike's anointed candidate or get sacked. Number 11. Is it not sobering that the outgoing governor of Rivers State is the only one gloating over the outcome of these bloody elections, when everyone else is moody? Other election robbers are hiding their faces. Does Governor Wike not know that this is one election where the winners are full of shame, while those that did not win are being celebrated everywhere? Why not Governor Wike follow other election robbers to hide his face and allow Nigerians to heal? 12. The APC in Rivers State wish all those who believe there was anything credible about the last gubernatorial and House of Assembly elections well in their celebrations. After all, bandits, robbers, and terrorists also celebrate after a heist. This is signed by Chief Emeka Beke, the state chairman of the party, and Darlington Wauju, the spokesperson.
Relationship between INEC chairman and Mourning. This claim was first made by the former governor election, and today again you have echoed that. Why wait for this? This also affected the outcome of the election. Why wait so late to come out with that statement?
Thank you. This is my taking it from is APC or governorship or not? Then my answer started two questions. Briefly,
alleged killings and the mixing of some persons that you have made known now. I want to know
why the APC's allegation is coming now, and the thoughts that is a little bit late. Now, first of all, there is nothing about, I do not think that it is out of time or out of place for the APC in Rivers State to raise such allegations. And as you rightly mentioned, our leader had made, had alluded to this fact during his press interview with Arise Television last Saturday night. It is an open secret that Professor Mahmoud Yakub was worked under the Ministry of Education, while the outgoing governor was Minister of State for Education. And he was under the direct supervision, his parastatal was under the direct supervision of the Minister of State for Education. And that information is in the public domain. So that our leader pointed to that fact is, to say the least, something that every other person should have known, especially you in the media. It was no news at all. The thing is that I think it was about who said it. The fact that someone that helped bring the Buhari government to power made it more punchy. But that information was already in the public domain, so it's no news at all. I think I've answered it. It's not about when the alarm was raised. It's about the fact that Nigerians are a bit docile when it comes to following up with issues that have to do with our collective good as a people. So I think I've tried to answer that question. Now, does it mean that the APC has considered defeat by this press briefing? Not at all. This briefing is about responding to plenty of the comments that we felt were grossly unnecessary by the outgoing governor. We are trying to respond to those issues he raised. And we will not be surprised if by tomorrow he comes up with further theatrics, because we've been entertained a lot in the past 8 years as a people. So we won't be surprised at all if more things come off his sleeves by tomorrow. So I think I've answered that question. We've not considered. More of my answers will answer to number 3 question. If the APC is heading to the tribunal, yes, of course. Our governorship candidate, Pastor Architect Wike, has already given his word about that. He will be heading to the tribunal. And our situation room, if it explains the volume of votes, 304,000, thereabout. Well, I think that giving that answer now will amount to helping the tribunal. The tribunal will decide and tell the world if actually what has happened in Rivers State corroborates what the INEC has declared. It is left for us and our team of lawyers to show evidences that we've gathered from the field, and then we'll match it with whatever the INEC is going to show to the world. So for figures, I cannot start analyzing figures here. We'll leave it to the tribunal to decide. The alarm we raised as a party concerning the activities of some persons who are bloated, who are operating with bloated ego, walking around the governor of Rivers State. Yes, the information was right, was correct, was accurate, and it was only necessary as a political party, as a responsible political party, to raise that alarm in order to force the hands of security agencies to make sure that they nip such activities of unknown gunmen, just as we've noticed that in Rivers State we suddenly had unknown bombers bombing our rallies, bombing our campaign offices, and all that. And up to date, we've not gotten anybody at all facing justice, facing the law up till today. So we raised that alarm in order to put the activities of such persons or such activities in check and to ensure the safety of the people of Rivers State. So it's left to security agencies to tell us what they did with the information that we gave to them. Unfortunately, from our briefing this afternoon, we have also told the world that security agencies, especially the police, worked in cahoots with the PDP to ensure that there was victory for the anointed candidate of the outgoing governor. So you cannot put you can now put this information side by side and decipher for yourselves what has actually happened in terms of the policing of Rivers State, both in the past 8 years and especially in the course of the elections, both presidential and governorship. Then the last questions, if we've alerted security agencies about the killings. I think that question is a bit out of place, if you ask me, because if you've been following the news, we are aware that the supervising commissioner of police had responded to the killing of our campaign coordinator at Ahoda West. CP Echeng had promised that thorough investigation, that's the normal police language. So we are waiting for a thorough investigation from the police because they are always on top of the matter. At the end of the day, we are waiting to see what comes out of the thorough investigations, and Nigerians will see and know how thorough the thorough investigations are. But we are waiting, we are hopeful, we are a law-abiding political party, and we've always said that we do not believe that we must have to kill to get to power. It is absolutely unnecessary, absolutely, both before God and before men. We have always said, we have always sloganeered with the fact that our leader does not believe in political violence. And anybody that knows him for that fact, that he does not believe that he must have to cling or clinch power by killing human beings created by God Almighty. We do not believe in that. And as a political party, we are not interested in killing in order to acquire power. If there are any further questions, I will be ready to take those questions while my boss will take his leave to do some other things. If there are no further questions,
Let me just follow up to the last statement you made.
Go ahead.
You said, if I can just, you said Amici does not believe in political killing. If I let me not put politics, Amici does not believe in killing. And then
answer to your own question. First of all, what I said, I think that could be taken for free. You can take it to the bank. I think it's words on the marble. I said the leader of APC in Rivers State, the right, the Honorable Chibuike Rotimi Amechi, does not believe in killing to clinch power. Does not believe. When a man does not believe in something, you cannot make him to unbelieve in his belief. And so you need to get him convinced otherwise. As of today, I can tell you for free that he does not believe in it. And so those who believe in, how do I put it, advertising their violent potentials and then merchandising violence in order to get results. We are interested in the process leading up to results. We are not interested in results. We are more interested in the process leading up to results, because you will not only give account to God Almighty for whatever means you use in getting to any end, but I think that it is also very important that as human beings, we should be interested in how did we get these results, even as human beings. If children in universities, in secondary schools, can be expelled from school for cheating, why should political cheats be celebrated? It means that we need to gather all the persons rusticated from various universities for cheating, for doing any kind of unclean business. We need to apologize to them. If the government of Nigeria and government in Nigeria will be formed through acts of cheating, through unfair means, then we need to apologize to those who are being expelled for cheating during examinations. And as a parent, I do not think that I'll be proud if my son's school calls me to say, we caught your son cheating. So if I will be ashamed of my son, then Rivers people, and indeed Nigerians, should be ashamed of getting results that you do not deserve. When you have money that you cannot explain how you got it, you should be ashamed of yourself. And when you get electoral victory that you are sure you do not deserve, you should be ashamed of yourself. And so nobody should gloat about that. Thank you very much. Thank you for your time.